Oh, no.
For this year's SEMA, we have 2 vehicles from Nissan, 2 Nissan Kicks, and we've been tasked with kind of going to both ends of the spectrum. One's gonna be this like, I think they've named it Urban Shadow, so I'm seeing like slam to the ground, BMX trick bike, skateboard, this roof rack. The theme of the second Kicks is completely different. Instead of lowering it down, we're gonna raise it up, off-roady, kind of like a beach patrol. So we're working on this Urban Shadow Street Kicks, and one of the bigger issues that we run into, not just this year, but every year, is we do cars that are just being released, and therefore no one has had the time or seen the need to produce a lot of aftermarket parts. So in this case, we need to lower this car considerably. So we're having to put together our own little kit to slam this thing to the ground, because we don't want to just go like an inch. We want it to be like 3 or 4 inches lower than what we got from the factory, and still have all the all-wheel drive work properly and everything, you know, be able to put an alignment on it and all that stuff. So that's one of our biggest issues, is getting that stance right, because that's kind of where everything starts with me. Because if you don't have the stance right, it doesn't matter how cool the rest of the car is. If the stance isn't right, you miss the mark. When I grew up, it was all about the BMX biking and doing tricks and all this stuff, and you would just cruise downtown and go to the skate park or the bike park, and you were out there doing what you do.
Watch out, loose bolts. Oh, the disrespect.
You can just throw these things in the back of your car, but then if you want to bring all your homies with you, all your space is taken up, the seats are down and all that. So we wanted to throw some sort of rack system on this thing, and the Kicks come with the 2 rails, but the bike rack wasn't quite the right bike rack. The board holder was like 3 or 4 feet wide, and we needed it to be like 18 inches wide. So we had to relocate the rail system on the Kicks to accommodate for the bike to fit the way it should. Then we had to take the skateboard rack completely apart, cut it down, modify it, repowder coat it, reinstall it. So, you know, like I said, nothing's ever easy when we do these first year cars.
So today, got the Nissan Kicks behind me, what we're doing for SEMA. I'm working on the roof rack currently.
With this second Kicks being off-road, being kind of a beach patrol, the whole bit, needing like the standard life-saving equipment, the backboard, the bags, the neck brace, all of this stuff. We talked to Carl at Nismo, and he's like, man, I have a roof rack, but it's for something completely different.
Nissan was lovely enough to send us one of their Nismo roof racks for their one of their trucks. And it doesn't quite fit. So we came up with an idea.
We're gonna have to cut it right down the middle and shrink it. And you know, working with aluminum is always interesting.
We're going to utilize some of these crossbars to mount our roof rack to the tops of this Kicks. And that's what I'm going to do today. Hey John, can you grab the other side for me? Just let it fall into your hands. There you go. Set it down on the plastic. Perfect. Thank you. Let me see if I can get enough length on that. So basically, these were designed for an older Kicks, but we're going to utilize them on this brand new, piece of fiberglass in my drill bits. It's cool. Just leave that in there. I just love very dull drill bits. Are you my mother? Remember that old book? Big shavings. It's my life's shavings. right up against that rail and line the holes up with my marks on the tape. Pretty please. How do we look? It's a little long now, but that'll work. That's just right there at the right size to slide down. It's a good starting point. That's time to do the rears.
This roof rack here that Nissan sent us, a really nice Nismo piece. We're kind of having to cut and modify and change to fit the dimensions of the Kicks because it's not made for it, but it's still a really nice piece. So we've already gone ahead and cut one of the rear cross members and then this front plate here and tack welded it back together. Now I have to cut the remaining cross braces so that way we get the correct width of it. And then we're also putting a slight angle on them because the whole roof rack has a slight taper towards the rear. So the front is a little wider than the back, matching the roof rails on the car.
We always want to try to tie in the Nismo brand when we're doing these builds because they have really cool stuff, and it's where a lot of folks go to outfit their new Nissan vehicles with Nissan aftermarket parts.
Boom. Beautiful.
Is this the front right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Somewhere like there-ish. Okay, we definitely got to come forward. So let's put that rail in front of that there, in between two of them. Okay, that's not horrible. How much would you say is poking off? So like this edge of this rail up here, like how much is hanging off? Like 1/4 inch?
I mean, I'm pretty much
You
flush
flush?
with it.
Okay.
So scoot it towards me.
Yeah. There we go. That's probably you like just a tickle pass flush.
About that much
Okay.
now.
All right, that's probably
There
it.
we
then.
go. That's
Okay. So we'll just let that chill there. So it does like perfectly follow that.
yeah.
Oh no, don't do this. All right, pick up on the roof rack and then move that rod out of there.
Do you want it or you want me to take it?
I got it.
Okay.
Yep, I got it. Okay. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Just freaking crushed my finger. Well, that looks a lot better. All right, our Nismo roof rack, modified Nismo roof rack, is sitting on the Kicks. It looks pretty good. I went ahead and cut some wood blocks to kind of space it up a little bit and get it off of things. You know, we skinnied it up and made it fit. The bottom of this follows the arch of the car really nicely. So just dimensionally, everything looks correct and it looks like it fits the car.
It looks exactly like it was made for this Nissan Kicks.
I'm pleased with it. So I think I'm ready to move on to making brackets for it and actually getting it mounted to the car for real.
Some other things that we're going to be doing, one of them is kind of bumping up the exhaust a little bit. You know, you don't want this thing to be too crazy. We're not really worried about adding a bunch more horsepower, but we do want it to look a little different and have a little deeper, throatier sound to it. So we're putting on, again, another Nismo part that was for something else. We've custom fit it to this new Beach Patrol Kicks.
It's time to get sporty. A box in a box. Ah, forget it. Would you look at it? So allegedly, this is not for the current generation kicks. This is for a Nissan Juke 2-wheel drive Nismo R-Tune sport muffler kit. So, be a little bit of adaptation, but that's okay. Because that's what we do here. Make it work. Ah. Oh. Ooh. Ugh. Okay. Ugh. Bleh. Disgusting.
And it's not like it goes over or underneath or in between any
Yeah, it literally
suspension, so
just go up.
it literally just goes up. Wax for me.
All right, let's get cutting.
Upfitting or retrofitting this exhaust from another system to this car, we had to cut the old stuff out and then kind of graft in the new part where, you know, at the appropriate location.
First step, we got to get this giant muffler out of here because I can't even hold the new one up. Like I can like see what I need to do, but like I don't know what I need to do until this is gone. I can't get it where it needs to go. This guy is welded solid all the way up until the cat, and there's a flange up there. So he is getting cut here because we need some of this stuff here to either weld straight to the new muffler or figure out a flange and make it unbolt here. But it unbolts up there, so I might just weld it straight to it. This is getting cut. A couple hangers are getting undone. This guy will get out of the way. And then might undo this hanger and let this hang a little bit and then hold the new muffler up in here. So that's kind of the idea. Oh, no. Oh, I should have been paying attention for that. Get off of there. Whoa. There we go, got it. Fast reflexes. All right, how much water is gonna come out of this thing? Maybe? None? I hear it. Huh. All right, well, there we go. The water comes from exhaust condensation. Because whenever your car's cold and you fire it up, there's a lot of water in the exhaust fumes, and it condensates on the cold exhaust until the exhaust gets hot, and then it evaporates out of it. There we go. Okay, it's about to be earth-shattering. You ready, Chad?
It's still super quiet.
Oh. I'll just put the exhaust. I'll just get 2 foot of pipe and just put the exhaust tip on it. Word.
There we go.
Got a pipe right in the way. This is for a two-wheel drive Juke. It's for front-wheel drive. So normally there's not a bunch of arms in the way back there. How can I do this without this looking stupid? Cut it and flip it around. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut that off. Baloney. Huzzah! We have extension. So yeah, we can go, you can see it inside there, we can go really far out. Far out, man. Woohoo! Too much. That's probably a good depth there too. I'm gonna go get a jack just to hold it for me. I have to like make spacers or something to like get it perfectly spaced off of there, but it's stinking close. I'll tell you what I might do. I might get a self-tapper and a little like spacer, like what I was saying, and just self-tapper that guy up right where I want the hole to be drilled for the riv nut. Yeah, let's do it. I feel pretty good about it right now. It's got two hangers on it that are like temporarily on. We don't want it like sticking out super far. So it's just kind of a balance. I also don't want that to touch the bumper. I think it does need spacers. There we go, yeah, it's real straight looking, okay. I'll just have to knock that hanger off of there that we don't need.
We had to upsize it, downsize it, weld it in, and it was very medical.
Look at that. Would you just look at it? I'm trying to use this plug to hold the thing. It's not ready. Ow! What in the world? New muffler's on. Pat, fired up. Let's hear it. Ooh. It's a little deeper than it was. Yeah. I knew it would make it a little meatier sounding. Give it a little. All right, so we got all of the fab work wrapped up on the Nismo Juke muffler that we put on our kicks. I had to move some of the stock muffler mounts around and stuff like that, make a bracket or two and find some adapter pipes and weld them together, but otherwise it was pretty straightforward. No major modifications or anything. Gives a little bit of sportiness to it. Now we just have to get it back off and send it out to powder coat. I think it'll do perfect for this build.
We're going to be putting some one-off custom Nismo wheels on not just this Kicks, but the other Kicks we're doing. They're a really cool looking tuner wheel, and that's what these cars really are all about.
It's an 18 by 8.5 plus 40, slightly smaller in diameter than the stock wheel. It'll give a little bit more meat to it. Right now, everything looks good. We do have a couple like tight areas and things that we need to look at, mainly the offset. The inside lip is pretty close to our strut. It's 1/8 of an inch or like 3/16 of an inch off of the strut, which is a little close.
There was not a lot of room for error, so we had to really pay attention to make sure we got that back spacing just right.
When you want something to look right and you want that flush fitment, it really does come down to 5 millimeters at a time. It makes a big difference.
Through much calculation and test fitting and on and off, I think we have the perfect stance and offset for these custom Nismo wheels for this Kicks.
We're putting a roof basket up here with some lights on it, so we need to get electricity to the lights, to the roof basket. So instead of just flopping it over the side and running it in the door or something, I'm just gonna punch a hole through the roof, put a nice grommet in there, and run our wires through the roof. See how this goes. Sometimes drilling these grommets, it's like you cannot get them to drill. You gotta like burn them, heat them. That's gonna work. That basket covers all this up and it comes back to here.
Yeah.
So I found a perfect grommet that fits that wire.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
it's literally all you're gonna see is from 4 inches of that wire.
Okay.
Oh yeah. That's gonna work. So now I'm just gonna clean up my mess and paint the roof where it's bare metal. And then I can start running my wiring.
So I'm thinking either that we can lay up on top, and then secure with the orange safety straps, just to the roof rack itself, and then we can do what was it called? Safety can. It's called a safety can. Safety can opener.
Throwing a roof rack on it, that's cool. It doesn't look like we really did anything, but there was a lot of work that went into that and that was involved in that. So I want a really beefy, like I'm going as far from the other Kicks as we can, wider footprint, wider stance, lifting this thing up. This thing's got a ton of ground clearance. So with that, we're gonna put some Nerf bars, a front bull bar. We're gonna custom do all these parts.
Our main shape is kind of a one-piece thing, kind of like what you'd see on a lot of like aftermarket bull bars and stuff. And then I've added this middle bar here, kind of tie the two sides together and kind of make it a little bit more rigid and also give something for the skid plate that we plan on making to bolt to. I've got my pedestals over here on the sides. I've already got my crossbar welded in. I still have to weld my mounts on. They're just tacked on right now. And once those are welded on, then it can go back to the car for final like test fit, make sure everything's all good. And then I guess we need to start making a skid plate for it and then off the powder coat. Our bull bar is pretty much past the mock-up phase. It's completely welded up, bolted on where it's gonna be. Right now, I'm working on getting some light mounts added to it. You can see I've got one just kind of resting here. I've tried a couple of different options, some smaller 4-inch rounds, a couple square lights. Well, I think we've settled on the 6-inch rounds for the front that Nissan sent us. They've got like the nice little Nismo logo there. They look pretty cool. And I think they fit the front end really well. They kind of tie in with the large Nissan emblem up here. And it has the bar across, the Nismo there, the Nissan here. It just looks nice. It just works with how everything is kind of going on. Really, the mounting process is simple. I just kind of need to figure out the spacing I need, put a couple marks down and get some tabs welded onto this bar with a couple little gussets and things to make sure they don't fall off. And then after that, it's figuring out how the wires are gonna run and wiring up the rest of the lights, and that's it. Boom. All right, we're done. No. Hold him up to that so he's square. There's our middle. There. Yeah, those bolts are a mile long.
So while we're in the process of doing the Nerf bars and the bull bar, we wanted to go ahead and clean up the front bull bar a little bit by adding a skid plate.
We're gonna roll it, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, no problem. We'll grab some 1/8-inch aluminum plate and we'll just roll that sucker through our slip roller and bend it and do what we need to do. And we must have gotten the billet 1/8-inch sheet metal plate because, man, this thing was tough.
Probably gonna need some heat. I don't feel like that did anything.
Yeah, the gears are like.
I can feel that on that one. That is some strong stuff. Like,
You're gonna bow it over there, careful. Well, I say that, probably not. Hey, it'll make a good skid plate though. Probably won't be able to punch a hole through it very easy. Oh my goodness gracious. Golly, you have to turn it up.
It might have to be just, we bend it in 4 spots to get our angle. Like I can't even. This is some tough stuff. It doesn't bend like that other stuff.
Crank on that for about 5 minutes.
Where do you need your major bend? Back where that mark is?
From here to here. Yeah.
So we ended up going away from the slip roller to the 60-inch brake. We kind of had to manually get the circumference and radius in it that we needed.
I think the more little steps we do, the better we're gonna be, because otherwise we're gonna have like kinks in it.
So that's almost perfect. Shoot.
The rate that it's going on this side is gonna be good. By the time we get back to here,
All right.
it'll be.
And we'll just pull that side back out. Oh. Let's keep checking.
Yeah. And then just keep doing what we're doing.
Oh, I have to do everything on edge here. I think we should do that a little bit more, and we might be okay.
My buttocks.
A lot of elbow grease, a little bit of sweat, maybe a little bit of blood. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I cut myself. Doing these projects, we're getting down to the final touches. I'm really mental about just like the little details here and there. You're gonna move these tabs up here and we're done. We got all these parts done and we had to send them all to powder coat, and then You know, some of them, there's a black magic powder coat and then some textured black powder coat. When it comes back, it's gonna button this thing up and it's gonna look absolutely beautiful. They named this thing Urban Shadow, so what does that mean? My job, along with Tori here at the shop, is to pull these things together, and Chad too. We all put our collective ideas on paper and make sure these things are perfect. So we spend probably more time in the planning process to make sure the idea, the theme, the ideation, they all come together, and it is beyond what the client expects. It's a lot of planning, and it does mean a lot to us, even though, you know, it's a wrap. Doing them in the fashion that we do is unlike what anybody else does, and it's able to bring forth that story without having to say a word. I go as far as the matte finish on all of these. It does something to the car that I can't explain. You could do two cars the same color, one with this matte finish, the other one not. They look like two different cars. Once we get everything back from powder coat, it's like mad dash, final assembly. We're gonna get PT to slap those lights on. Brent's gonna help. We're gonna get all the wiring done, and we're gonna ship these things to SEMA. Well, we're down here to the last minute as usual. We're almost done, but we got to do a few graphics, some partner logos, quick detail, and off they go to SEMA. Building these two kicks side by side, they just don't look like the same platform. That to me, I know I've done my job, because it's what can somebody do with the Nissan Kicks? What are the possibilities? I personally cannot believe the transformation. The thing is just absolutely slammed to the ground. I just think these builds they just turned out to be so much more than I thought they could be. The Beach Patrol vehicle is all done. I wasn't super excited about it at first, to be completely honest with you, but seeing every bit, every little detail that we come up with, from the stance, again, starting with that stance, that's the most important thing, down to the Nerf bars, bull bar, the skid plate, the lights, the back, all this stuff. It's just, to me, by giving it the ground clearance we have, which is over 12 inches, maybe 14 inches of ground clearance, it's going to be a very capable off-road machine. You're not going to want to go to Moab with it necessarily, but it'll handle its own on the beach. And it's absolutely better than I could have imagined. I know the Hoff is jealous. I believe we've taken their vision of what our client wanted, and we've absolutely hit a home run here. So I can't wait for everybody to see them side by side at SEMA. What can somebody do with the Nissan Kicks? And I think we've nailed it, and I think people are going to be blown away. I guess it's why we do so many of them, because we like it, and we like a challenge, and we're getting pretty good at it.